morning from everybody here in Sports Today. And it's just 3 days from now, the World Test Championship final between India and Australia. Now, preparations are afoot in a big way. The Australians are practicing, the Indians are practicing in Arundale at this point in time. And the Oval is gearing up for what is going to be a blockbuster test match. Already in the lead up, it is very different to what it was in 2021. In 2021, you had rain, it was dominating the entire build up. You also had rain during the test match. But in 2023, for the Oval test build up, you are seeing bright sunshine. The Oval is gearing up for what will be its first ever test match in June. So, the weather is absolutely fine. It is a wonderful, you may say, springtime weather in England at this point in time. The threat of rain, very important. The threat of rain is absolutely minimal at this point in time. So, the preparations are going on fine for both the sides. Australia just had their photo shoot. The Indians will also have their photo shoot today. And on Sunday, most likely the Indian team will come to the Oval and they will have a practice session at that point. So from 4th onwards, India will be practicing on a regular basis at the Oval. And on 7th, you will come to know what are the conditions, what is the pitch like, how will the weather be. If you have to look at the weather forecast for the next 15 days, it is actually very clear with minimal chances of rain. It will be cloudy, but the chances of rain in London in that period from June 7th to June 12th is very minimal indeed. So that is one good news for the Indian team who will be wanting to figure out what their team composition is. Now it is on the thing of the team composition that Ravi Shastri, the former India coach and batter, has had a say on it. We are already debating on the conundrum whether we should play 3 pacers or 2 spinners or 4 pacers and 1 spinner. Remember, the 4 pacers and the 1 spinner theory worked in 2021 when India won at the Oval. But here, a fresh wicket, June conditions, whether you're going to pick 3 pacers or 2 spinners or you will make 4 pacers and 1 spinner. It is on this team composition that Ravi Shastri has given his verdict on the playing 11 and the keeper choice. He says, according to Ravi Shastri, when he was asked about the World Test Championship playing 11 for India, he stated that if you are playing 4 pacers and 1 spinner, you must play Ishan Kishan. If you are playing 3 pacers and 2 spinners, then you should pick KS Bharat. Now, the debate on whether it is KS Bharat or Ishan Kishan in the ICC World Test Championship Final is a big one. Because what are the advantages? You will see that KS Bharat played in the series against Australia, kind of impressed with his keeping, but his batting didn't live up to the expectation. Ishan Kishan, an advantage, he's a left-hander, but making your debut in an ICC World Test Championship Final, that's asking a way lot from a youngster. But remember, if India are looking for a like-to-like replacement for Rishabh Pant, then Ishan Kishan might actually fit the bill. But remember, in swinging conditions, with bouncy conditions, pace and quality spin, Ishan Kishan has often been found wanting in these kind of situations. Whether he can overcome it at the Oval is a different matter altogether. So, Ravi Shastri's situation is very clear. He says that if India are playing 4 pacers and 1 spinner, play Ishan Kishan. If India are playing 3 pacers and 2 spinners, play KS Bharat. What do you think about Ravi Shastri's suggestion? Is it a good one? Is it moderate? Is it going to divide opinion amongst people? Because remember, your number 5 and number 6 are relatively inexperienced at this point in time as far as playing is concerned. Ajinkya Rahane has not played a test match for close to 2 years, although he's had a good domestic structure season at this point. KS Bharat, on the other hand, has not had that much of playing time either. He didn't play a single game for the Gujarat Titans. And on top of that, his test form in the recent Border Gavaskar Trophy was also not that good. So, all eyes will be on the team selection. India chose the wrong team in 2021. In those conditions, in these conditions, are they going to pick the right team? Well, as they say, once bitten, twice shy. So, that is the hope that India picks the right team in the ICC World Test Championship Final. Because remember, Australia's equation is very simple. 4 pacers and 1 spinner. It will be Josh Hazlewood, Pat Cummins, Mitchell Starc, Cameron Green and Nathan Lyon. that will be your bowling combination. However, if Hazelwood is injured, then you will probably have Scott Boland coming in. If they are going to play with an all-out seam attack, then it is going to be a big problem then, because the oval traditionally tends to favor spin towards the fag end, say on day 4 and day 5. So it will be a very important team selection. Whoever picks the first team, whoever picks the right team, might go a long way in winning the World Test Championship final. It is obvious. New Zealand picked the right team in 2021. India did not. That's why they became the champions. Here, whichever team is picked, and if it's the right team for the conditions, they will go a long way in winning this match. So, we are all gearing up for the World Test Championship final. Just 3 days to go. The Oval is gearing up for the World Test Championship final. Tickets are going to be sold out. The Oval is going to be painted in the sea of blue, because obviously the Indian contingent will outnumber the Australian fan contingent. So it's easier said than done. Now, if you want to look at cricket and the other news that happened, Sri Lanka yesterday, their woes continued because they were thrashed by Afghanistan at home. Ibrahim Sadran smashed a brilliant 98, and because of that, Sri Lanka suffered a loss, and it looks like their woes are only going to mount because there were injuries to certain players. Matisha Patirana, CSK's big find, if their ultimate death bowler, did not have a great transition in ODIs. He went for 66 runs, took 1 wicket of Rahmat Shah in 8.5 overs. Tough induction for Matisha Patirana when it comes to ODIs, and it's going to be a big struggle for Sri Lanka. Remember, they are going to play the World Cup qualifiers in July in Zimbabwe. If they do not make it to the final, then they are out. They cannot play in the World Cup. And there were certain questionable calls. I mean, why didn't Mahesh Theekshana play? Is Theekshana being viewed only as a T20 bowler, or is he going to be a white ball bowler also? In addition, he did play a bit of red ball cricket as well. But is Theekshana going to be there consistently for the ODIs? That remains to be seen. Because why didn't he play? It is a big mystery. Why didn't Mahesh Theekshana play in that match against Afghanistan? So Sri Lanka are already 0-1 down, and they will have to bounce back in a big way. Remember, Afghanistan do not have Rashid Khan for the first 2 games because he sustained an injury. Now, Afghanistan will be hoping that they can win the series and stamp their authority as one of the fastest rising teams in world cricket at this point in time. Yes, beating a depleted, weakened Sri Lanka side might be no consolation, but remember, a series win is a series win. But on the other hand, we switch from Sri Lanka to England, and yet again, Bazball England are just pushing the boundaries of brilliance every single time. I mean, 524 for 4 at a run rate of 6. How do you stop England at this point in time? Remember, they may be encountering a much better attack in Australia in the next two weeks. The Ashes might present a test for Bazball in a big way, but 524 runs. At one point, the session run rate was 7. England are playing test cricket like it is T20 cricket. It is simply staggering. Ollie Pope hit us a double 100. Then you had Ben Duckett also scoring runs. You also had Zach Crawley scoring runs. Harry Brook, every single one of them really stepped up. And Harry Brook just got 9 runs when Ollie Pope got to a century. That's it. He declared. Joe Root, on the other hand, he's also soaking Bazball up in a big way. 11,000 runs. And only Alistair Cook is ahead of him now when it comes to the England run scoring chart. Will he overhaul Alistair Cook's mark? That is the big thing indeed. I mean, Joe Root, take a bow. I mean, what a sensational performance from him. And Ollie Pope, one of the fastest double centuries when England batter, only Ben Stokes has hit one much quicker than this. That was 163 balls against South Africa in Newlands. You will all remember that. It was a record partnership that he shared with Johnny Bairstow. 524 for 4 in just under 82 to 83 overs. Mind-blowing stuff from England. And I'm telling you, this template is going to lay the foundation if England have to rest back the Ashes, which they look to be the favourites. But they are also gunning for a final, because remember, in Ashes contest, Australia has whitewashed England 3 times final. England have never whitewashed the final. They are probably gunning for that this Ashes. The best chance that has ever been presented for them. And that's why England, man, they really look the part. And if they continue this template, they could very well be the contenders in the 2025 cycle. Maybe a final at Lord's beckons for them. That remains to be seen. But England are on top against Ireland. That is the situation at this point. So today we are gearing up for the FA Cup final. When you look at football, Manchester United versus Manchester City, it's going to be an epic clash. And remember, Manchester City are aiming for the treble, and they have already won the Premier League. Now they will want to win the FA Cup and also seal off the treble by winning against Inter Milan in the UEFA Champions League, which will happen 9 days later. So the FA Cup final, the UEFA Champions League, all that is going to be extremely important for them. And that is the reason why it is going to be a fascinating contest. Can Manchester City get to a treble? Can Manchester United dent City's prospects of a rare treble? That will be very interesting to see. So Manchester City versus Manchester United today, it is going to be a classic encounter. On the other hand, when you look at Lionel Messi, he'll probably be playing his last match in the Liga. It's been confirmed. But whether he will return to Barcelona, that is another thing altogether. I don't think there are reports floating in that Messi's return to Barcelona is all but over. It may or may not happen. Hopes are fading very quickly indeed. So, not good signs if you're a football fan and if you're a Barcelona fan. Lionel Messi might have actually played his last game in Europe. Will he go to America? Is he going to get a deal with Saudi Arabia? All that speculation is still very much in the air. We don't know about it. Only Lionel Messi might make a statement in the near future if that happens. So let's see what is the future that Messi has. Whether it's his last game in Europe, it remains to be seen. So, now today we'll have Lakshya Sen playing in the Thailand Open semi-finals. He's the only Indian in the fray left, and if he can pull it off, it will be a sensational comeback for Lakshya Sen. We all hope that he can maintain the momentum and ensure that he comes back in a big way. On the other hand, if you look at Lakshya Sen's performance, it's been great, and Kiran George on the other hand, he's also been sensational. So kudos to the Indian contingent for putting in such a good performance. Now, we will end this morning grab with a sensational tribute to the hockey side. The men's hockey team put on a brilliant show, 5-1 against Belgium. It was the last time we had ever seen that dominance. So Belgium were beaten 1-5 by India, and today the Junior Women's Asia Cup tournament is happening with India playing. So the India men's team already won the Asia Cup for the 4th time. Now it is the turn of the Women's Junior Asia Cup to ensure that they continue to bring greatness to hockey in India. So we have sporting action lined up. We are building up to the ICC World Test Championship. I'll be doing a special explainer on a certain brand of cricketers. The name Body will really be a good sight indeed. So cricketers after body parts. That is an interesting thing, isn't it? Join us for that special video. And don't forget, we are building up to the ICC World Test Championship. We are also building up to the FA Cup. Stay tuned to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Thank you.